A nation is defined as a large aggregate of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language, inhabiting a particular country or territory. Though the unity of our people has been challenged through trial and tribulation, Korea has raised a new and strong national identity, a people of success and prosperity.
Korea started as Gojoseon, the old Joseon kingdom, 2333 BCE, on a peninsula just south of Manchuria. The fall of Gojoseon led to the three kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Sinla. Thousands of years later, the country is reunited as Joseon. The Korean Empire was later brought to an abrupt end.
In 1910, Japan formally annexed Korea as a colony. Japanese investments began to flow into the new colony, turning it into a source of industrial and agricultural wealth for Japan. In 1945, by mutual agreement at the Potsdam Conference, the United States and Soviet Union, allies in World War II, made plans to jointly occupy Korea following the defeat of Japan. Soviet troops occupied the northern portion of the country, while the United States took the southern half, with the 38th parallel serving as the dividing line between the two zones of occupation.
No peace treaty has ever been signed between the South Korea and North Korea to bring an end to this conflict. As a result, the United States and South Korea have remained in a deadly standoff with North Korea, leaving the Korean peninsula effectively in an unending state of war.
Ever since the separation of a once united peninsula, South Korea has economically prospered and risen to join the trillion-dollar club of world economies. At the start of the economic boom in 1963, the majority of South Koreans were farmers. 63% of the population lived in rural areas. In the next 25 years, South Korea grew from a predominantly rural, agricultural nation into an urban, newly industrialized country, and the agricultural workforce shrunk down to only 21% in 1989.
The government's rice support program reached a record $1.9 billion in 1986, as compared with US $890 million in 1985. By raising procurement prices by 14% over the 1986 level, Seoul achieved a rice price structure that was about 5 times that of the world market in 1987. The major car manufacturer Hyundai Motors, LG, and Samsung, all based in South Korea, have contributed greatly to the nation's economy. South Korea has become the 11th largest national economy in the world. The sudden skyscraper surge in industrialization, education, and technological advancements are labeled to be part of the miracle on the Han River.
Korea's tragic and torn history stands in stark contrast to the economically, educationally, and technologically successful country it has become. 60 years ago, South Korea was an economic wasteland. Today, it is not only the world's 11th largest economy, but also a vibrant democracy and an emerging cultural force. An advisor to former dictator Park Chung-hee said, "We were the poorest, most impossible country on the planet." Korea was overshadowed by neighboring countries like China, Japan, North Korea, the United States. Now things are changing, but the perception has not yet caught up with reality. Korea changes so quickly, politically, socially, and economically, there's always something going on, never ceasing to impress. For Korea to have gone from a disorderly, broke country into one of a wealthy democracy, it would have been impossible to imagine. But together, the Korean people have done it. This is Korea.